Hello, all my favorite people! Welcome to today's video. I love sewing because every time you get behind your sewing machine, there is a possibility to learn something new. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through a few of my favorite sewing hacks that I found out way too late because they are amazing. You don't need a lot of extra fancy tools. Those techniques are very easy to incorporate into your daily sewing, so they don't need special equipment or special thingies, just a different way of approaching these techniques that will help you to get more efficient in your sewing, get more neat in your sewing. I'm very excited for it, so let's dive into them. Oh, I'm going to show them and then rate them. So I will also give them a rate out of 10, how useful it is. And I'm a little bit biased. Some of these I am using a lot myself, and some of these I have been wanting to try for some time. So I'm going to rate all of them and how useful they are and how they work and what they do and everything in between that. So let's dive into the video. Before we dive into this video, I want to tell you about my free community where I share a lot more of these tips, patterns, where we can learn together, have fun together. I do live calls there as well, sewing sessions, pattern making sessions, everything in between that. If you want to join my community, click the link below and I will see you in there. It's fun. The first one is how to create this binding in the inside or outside of your project. And I think it looks so good. This is how it looks on the outside. And this is how it looks on the inside. And it's very, very simple. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So you're going to get 2 pieces of fabric that you're going to make a seam. So this will be the seam that we are going to make. And then it will be the seam on the inside. But you also are going to get bias binding or another strap of fabric, whatever works for your pattern, as long as it is a strap. And measure, I like to go a little bit longer just to be sure. Cut it off, a minimum width that fits over your seam that you're going to create. So don't make it too thin unless you have thinner fabric. But because I have thicker fabric, I also need a thicker strap. And what you're going to do, you're going to fold that in half and then add that on top of that seam. And you pin this, all those 4 layers together. Okay, and now you are going to sew pretty close to the end of this seam, so not like in the middle of it. You want to be closer to the edge, so around this place, so just above this needle. That will be, I think, 3 millimeters, so very, very close to the edge. So I place this underneath my machine, and what I like to do is I line up my foot against the side seam, because that's an easy guideline that I can use. And then I change the placement of my needle towards the right. And in this case, I'm going the most to the right as is possible. So this is the width that I'm going to sew besides this. And that is perfect for this project. So this is what that looks like. I've sewn one way around it. What we are going to do now is you open that like that and you press it down, and then you fold this whole strap over itself and line it up like that. I've chosen very bulky fabric, but it does work on every single fabric, and the thinner the fabric, the easier it is. But I want to show you that it works for everything. And then you pin this in place. So fold it over itself and pin it. Fold it over itself and pin it. We are going to stitch this, and what you are going to do is put your stitch length on the longest stitch length because we are going to make top stitching, and that always looks the nicest with the highest stitch length. So now I'm going over here one more time, again close to the edge, and then it will look very neat at this side and also very neat at this side. I'm very excited about this hack. It's my favorite one. So place it under your machine again. Line up your needle with the side and then biggest stitch length. For me that's 5. And then I'm sewing along this line. And this is what that then looks like. And I really think it looks so good. And if you want it to be even more neat, you can also do a stitching here. And this is what it looks like on the other side. Also very neat. Very great way to finish your seams. Okay, the second one is also a finishing, so I'm going to do that next. And this will be how to finish your hems on your jeans in a way that you can keep the original hem, because jeans are dyed after they have been stitched together, and that's why it gets this effect after making them. And I really like that, and I like to use the original hem for when I hem my pants. So first thing you are going to do is measure how much you have to decrease. I'm just going to do it on feeling and make sure everything is straight. And what you are going to do now is make a stitching, so you can pin this place, pin it here. And now we are going to stitch at the place I just pinned. So we are just going next to the original hem, just stitch above that. And this can also be a hack. If you didn't know yet, you can undo this from your machine, and then this is smaller, and that way you can place this over it so you can easily go in a round. Line it up exactly next to that hem and sew right there all the way around. And now what you will do is cut this off. So cut a little bit closer to that stitch line and remove the excess fabric. And now you need your seam ripper and undo this seam. The only thing you need is that you want to have kind of the same yarn, so a bit thicker yarn that you can add on this hem. So I'm going to undo this. You undid that seam, so it's gone. This is a very old jean, so the hem is not good anymore, so I don't know why I reuse it, but this is for people who have nice jeans that they didn't ruin before. Go to the inside, and we stitched here. Fold this towards, so this is the seam we just sewed. Fold that inwards and then go with your hem that you undid over it. So make that seam that you just sewn and place it inside of the original hem. So fold it inwards and then close it up with the original seam. Pin this on this side of your pants. And now you are going to sew over the original stitch length with similar thread. I'm going to use this blue one, just so you see it. Place it under. Stitch length on 5 again, because we are top stitching. And follow the blue, the dark blue line that there already is. Hem actually looks exactly the same, or almost exactly the same as your old hem. It looks so good. That's the second one. The next one is making an invisible zipper into your seam with very nice edges, and I haven't tried this before, so this is a new one for me, but I'm very excited about this one. So I attached the waistband towards it and I ironed this, so that I exactly know how this is going to fold over the inside seam. And the zipper, I want the zipper to go here and then all the way towards the top. So here. First thing they do is they open this. You only need one first, and then you place the invisible zipper with the zip towards the good side. They place it here, and then they place the plastic knot here so that it exactly lines up with the fold line that you steamed. And then they are pinning it and sewing along this line. I'm going to do a regular zipper foot because it's not the goal to have the perfect invisible seam. It's the goal to have it perfectly lined up at the top. That's what I want to test today. So I stitched there, and then when I fold it, normally what we would do is fold everything to the good side, and then you want to fold this and then sew this waistband, and then you normally put this in between it, but it never looks very, very good. So what I have seen them doing is get a scissors and then they cut here into the fabric. So they, do you see what I'm doing? Yes. So they fold this away so that you can see it, and then towards that stitching here, I'm going to make a little cut. And what they then do is they fold it in between, and then they close this over, and then they close it, and then it should look very neat and tight inside that corner. So now we are going to stitch over this, and it turned, I'm already very excited because it looks really, really nice. And then you repeat that on the other side to even it out, but it really looks very, very good. Okay, next one. Okay, the next one is how to finish straps. You have your bias tape and then you fold it inwards 2 times, so 1, 2, but then you have this raw edge and we want to undo that. So instead of folding the inwards and then close it and having that raw edge, we are going to open it wrong sides facing each other. Make sure that the fold lines line up. Pin this, a straight line just over here, like that. But then a very important step for this hack to work is that you trim the edge, but also cut diagonally here and here. And then straight here. The diagonal lines, make sure that it will not get bulky in the end. And then you fold it back. So this goes to the inside. Then you fold in your raw edges. So those two you already ironed. You also fold them inwards. Get a button to make everything straight and push everything inwards. Get this little corner out. Pin it. And then you have your nice finished edge. So now you can sew here, close the side and then go over here maybe one more time to finish it off. And then you have your nice corner that is not raw edge. Amazing! The last one I'm going to do today is how to change the color of your threads on your serger in the easiest way, so that you don't have to redo all the threads at once. So first thing you do is you cut all the threads off and then undo the color that is on there. Replace it with your new color. Get the thread and follow the one for every color, and then This is red, so the one most on the right, and then make a little knot in those two threads. And how to do that is line them up together, just make a little knot, only one knot, really only one, because otherwise it's too thick and will not get through all the holes. And then tighten it by pulling both of the threads and then cut it off short, but not too short. Let me zoom in. So this is my knot, and I'm going to cut off the threads, but not too short. You see that I have around 1 centimeter, half a centimeter over. This is enough, not shorter than this. And repeat that for all the threads, and make sure that everything is tight. So tighten it a little bit after you did it. Then you tighten it by pulling the thread so that everything in the machine still stays tight. So now we have all the little knots in the machine, and what you are going to do now is, now that you made all of the knots, we are going to put the presser foot up, and this is the thread that is already in there. And now you are just going to press with your foot and lightly pull on that thread. And you already see the colors changing here, so that means that the bottom ones are most of the time the first ones. And I can also see, like, okay, they went through very well. I only need here a little bit more, but what I will probably get is that the knots will get stuck in the needles. Yeah, so now I can pull it. I feel resistance. So I stop here, cut it off short. And then the only thing I have to do now is, instead of rethreading the whole machine, is only rethreading the top threads. So as I see is that the two knots are here. So I will cut it and then pull those through. So the bottom two threads are in it, and here the top threads, I see the little knots that they resisted. So cut them off and then rethread both of the top needles, and then your machine is rethreaded without opening the whole machine and rethreading everything in between here. You only have to do the two top ones. So, and now I rethreaded the top threads as well, so the machine is threaded. Okay, it's time for the final ranking of all the techniques we tried. The first one was this binding, and this is a 10 out of 10 for me. I think it looks so good, and it works on thick fabric, thin fabric, everything that you want to finish neatly will look, and it's so easy. So this is a 10 out of 10. I really like this, and I will be using this a lot. I only found out about this, I think, 2 weeks ago, and I'm obsessed. I love it. The next one is the hem of the jeans, and I know this jeans is not good anymore, but I do really like, I prefer to keep the hem the same because I like the washing of it. So I think therefore this is a really good hack as well. Never can find like the perfect matching thread for the top stitching, and it's also a little bit more bulky than the normal hem. But for when you are short and have to hem all your pants, I would definitely use this technique for your jeans. So therefore I would give this an 8 out of 10 because it is easy, good, and it looks good. The next one is the zipper, and this is amazing. I really like this one as well. It looks so neat. I'm going to use this like forever and always when I have a waistband with an invisible zipper, or just facing with an invisible zipper, and it's just a small little cut to fold it inwards. Yeah, this is the perfect sewing hack in my opinion, because it's so simple. It's a small little cut, but it just makes it look so much better. So 9 out of 10. Binding, the strap finishing, I'm not sure about this one. I will use it again, but I have to perfect it. It doesn't look as good as I wanted it to be, but it definitely is easier and looks better instead of folding the sides inwards at all in the first place. So it looks better, but this one you have to practice. It's a bit harder to get it look nice after. With it being a sewing hack, it still is quite difficult to make it look neat. So I will give this a 6 out of 10. And the last thing we did was the rethreading the serger. And I've been doing that for as long as I have my serger, which is I think 6 or 7 years. So I will forever do that way. It is quicker, easier. You don't have to open the whole machine and everything. So that is also a 10 out of 10. Let me know if you want to see a part 2 of this video. I like trying out these hacks, if I did them before or not, sharing them with you too. Sewing already takes quite a lot of time, and yeah, we want it to look good and we want it to be as efficient as it can be. So yeah, I think these videos are helpful. Let me know if you want to see a part 2. Oh, and also comment your favorite sewing hacks so that I can put them in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel for sewing and pattern inspiration, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!